Okay, Ham Radio 2.0. Good evening. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB. If this is your first time here to join us, click on the subscribe button below so that you can keep up with all the videos that we put on this channel, everything that's new in amateur radio. Today, I am talking with Jay, W5GM, who is the current and soon to be stepping down North Texas Section Manager for the ARRL West Gulf Division. So, Jay, thanks for taking the time out. I know we've talked about doing this for a while, and we've got we finally meshed up together, and this screen record software seems to be working pretty good too. So how are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me onto your show, Jason. It's always a pleasure to join you, not only in person, but live via the internet.
Right. Yeah, this is cool. So, well, I guess the we talked about doing this for a while, and my thought was to try to get a little bit more involved with the league, and for our area anyway, North Texas, South Texas, maybe some West Texas stuff. I talked to John Stratton a little bit about doing some stuff a while back, but just kind of get the ball rolling and all this stuff. But the elephant in the room, as it were, is that the email went out to various sources a few days ago about your term ends in April, or I guess the end of March, and you're choosing not to run again.
That is correct. My last day is April the 1st. That will be the day that the section manager elect will take office and have all access to all the section manager resources and have all the section manager responsibilities.
And how long is it a 1-year term or 2-year? What is it?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. Oh, 2 years. I couldn't remember. It seems like it's been. Yeah, it was 2 years ago because, and the reason I remember that is because shortly after you took office, you sat down at my table at HamCom, which was the last time it was in Irving, so that would have been 2017, and we talked about Mentor Fest for the first time. And
That's
I remember
correct.
you were, and we talked about the section manager election and all that kind of good stuff. So okay, good. So tell us whatever you want to say. I mean, I'm not going to put you on the spot or anything like that, but whatever you want to say about the last 2 years, maybe if you don't mind telling us why you're stepping down and what you can. Maybe what the future holds, because you've still got 4 months or 3 months, I guess. So Q1 of 2019 is still going to be under your or on your shoulders, I guess it were. And
yes,
what can we expect to see in the first quarter? And what do you think that might happen after that?
Well, the election's coming up. We have 2 candidates, so we're actually going to have, as I so eloquently put it, an E-lection versus a C-lection. Both are very good candidates. Ken is actually one of my acting assistant section managers. Don't know Steve that well. I've chatted with him via email and spoken with him briefly on the phone. So I've encouraged both candidates to get out there, campaign, send your emails, build a website, lay out your vision for what you'd like to do with this office, because April the 1st, if you're the winner, the horse is yours. Pick up the reins and ride.
Good.
Until that time, the Q1 of 2019 is not going to be all that busy. We do have the North Texas Section Convention, which will be hosted at the Cowtown Hamfest.
Right.
And I'll be there greeting members, prospective members. We'll have 1 hour time allotted upstairs in the meeting rooms as usual for a North Texas Section Forum to discuss things that are of importance to league members. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I'll know who the winner of the election is at that point. I think that won't be known until a little bit later in January, maybe February something.
I heard that ballots were going to be, I guess, emailed out around January 3rd. Is that correct?
It sounds right.
Okay.
And then they have a certain amount of time to get them back in, and then tabulate all the results. And I'll probably be the second one to know. The winner will get a phone call from Steve Ewald up at the league. Hey, I'm your new boss.
Right. Okay. Good.
But anyway, let's see. Then after Cowtown, That's pretty much January, February, March. I would say Belton, but Belton is after April the 1st. So
Right.
new section manager, that will be his baby. He will have to make the arrangements. I'll do my part, work with my contact down there and make sure the winner or the new section manager has his table set up and all this other stuff. And I probably will be going down there as well. It's always a fun time down in Belton. I love supporting those guys. And it really breaks my heart. And they're all the way out the bottom of the section. I'm almost all the way up at the top of the section, and it's a major act of Congress to try and get down there to either participate in a club meeting or anything of that nature. And it's kind of a segue into the one thing they are trying. Bell County is trying to leave the North Texas section. I've already signed off on it. I'm not going to interfere. They want to leave the section because they're more closely aligned with South Texas, because they are closer to Austin than Dallas. Let's just get that right out there. It's obvious. And getting good customer service, i.e. from the section manager, who is typically in the Dallas-Fort Worth areas, can be somewhat difficult. And if I wanted to go down there and participate in a club meeting, I'd literally have to take a day off of work to drive down there, do the meeting, and then spend the night, because meetings usually end at 9 o'clock. And now I'm driving back up I-35. That's just a scary thought at nighttime.
Right.
With all those drunks and stuff.
True. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And the two guys, I know that Steve he lives up outside of Paris, and then Ken is up somewhere up north of Lake Louisville. So they're not exact. I'm closer to Belton than both of those guys are. And it's 2 hours and 15 minutes for me to get there. So yeah, that's a stretch. I guess I never thought about it that way, but that is a stretch, to be able to go down there and be a regular attendee. And that's an active club. Some of these clubs in the outside of the Metroplex, like, I'm not sure how active the Waco club is, but the Temple Amateur Radio Club is a really active club. And, I guess it's a shame you can't get down there more often, but you do what you got to do, I guess. So,
yeah, and I think Heart of Texas is a very active club. I used to have an assistant section manager that was down there, and he passed away a number of years ago. And I haven't had a chance to visit with them since then, or even my other distant club, the Nacogdoches Club. Army Curtis AE5P is a big wheel down there, and the offer was always open. If you come down, visit the club, I'll put you up in our RV, which is parked out behind the house, and you have all the comforts of home. And so after the meeting, come crash and then wake up and go home the next day. And so, hey, that was great. Thank you very much, Army. Of course, he sold the RV because he's not getting around quite as well as he used to, which I think a lot of hams that I grew up with are saying that frequently.
Sure. Yeah.
But anyway, I say if Steve gets it, then no one will be able to say that the ARRL or North Texas section will be Dallas centric anymore, especially for somebody living out of Paris.
That's true. Yeah, no doubt. Well, quick note: I've traded emails with both Steve and Ken, like I was telling you before I hit record on the video. We are going to do, and I don't know if how well you keep up with my just regular posted shows, Jay, but 2 weeks ago at the Hearst Amateur Radio Club, I did a live stream to kick off a monthly live stream that I'm going to be doing in January in 2019. The first Saturday of every month in 2019, I'm going to go somewhere. I might do some here from the Ham Shack. I might do some at the Hearst Club or elsewhere. For the month of June, we're going to actually do it from Hamcom, so we'll do it the second weekend that month. But we're going to do a monthly live stream on this show, and I'm going to kick off the new year by doing an interview between Steve and Ken on the live stream on January 5th from the Hearst Amateur Radio Club. So I'll be sending out an email probably sometime this week about to various clubs around mid-cities in North Texas saying, hey, if you want to, here's the link to I'll create the link up front so that I can share it with people. It can do a future planned event on YouTube. That's fairly simple to do. And then I'll say, if you have any questions specifically you want to ask, send them in to me via email and I'll put together a list, or they can get on a live chat on YouTube also. and watch it while it's streaming, and we can go through question and answers that way. But that would be a good time to just get people's I mean, you can visit people's QRZ page. Sometimes they have their pictures there, and you can trade emails with people and get to know them kind of well. But you might walk past them at a ham fest, you don't know who they are. So be a good time to get their faces in front of everybody. And then of course that video will be available afterwards for people to go back and watch also, and they can share it as they see fit. So I'm looking forward to doing that. That's the first time I've ever done anything like that. So it ought to be fun, I think.
Oh, that's gonna be huge.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
I think
totally
so.
Huge.
I'm probably going to try to do. I haven't worked out the details on this yet. I got to check with the guys at Cowtown, but I'd like to try to do a short live stream from Cowtown on Saturday also. I don't know what their internet situation there is, so I got to check on that. But if I do that, you're welcome to come by and sit down for a few minutes. We can talk.
Oh, thank you. I'd be glad to do that. That sounds fun, and hopefully this time around I won't be recovering from a case of the flu.
Yeah, no doubt. Cool, man. All right. Well, that sounds great. So I know you're going to get down to. You don't go down to. The Houston Ham Fest is a fairly good sized ham fest, but of course that's way in. They're on
that's in South Texas.
Texas convention. Yeah, I see John down there usually when I go down there. He makes that show.
I've been known in the past to show up at Austin Summerfest, but I haven't done that one either. That was back. I mean, the Austin Summerfest is really about the FM Society meeting. And I mean, that's kind of the main purpose of the whole gathering. And, due to some differences of opinion between myself and that organization, I kind of like, well, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. But, also it's because of the trip to South Texas. So it's really, I couldn't really expense it unless there was a meeting there between Woolweaver and Stratton and something. And in that case, I could, with their sign off, then I could make that trip. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been to that show. I tried to go to it 2 or 3 years ago when I was actually a vendor of radios, and I don't remember right now that they said that they didn't like having vendors there selling the same thing. So they only wanted like one vendor for antennas and one vendor for two-way radios and one vendor for hats and t-shirts and whatnot. And I thought that was a little bit strange, but I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. It's not a big deal. He wasn't rude about it or anything. It was just kind of different. And I'm like, and then, Austin Amateur Radio Supply used to be down there a lot, and they closed their doors. And now I think the guy from Kansas goes down there, Associated Radio. They don't even have a vendor from Texas down there anymore. So I've never been to that show. Maybe I'll go one day, but I don't know. I kind of lost interest in it after Austin closed their doors. But anyway, good. Okay. So what else can you tell us about just overall the North Texas, what's happening in North Texas? I know you said it's going to be slow. Is there any plans for like Q3 or 4 next year that you're aware of that they're working on, and what kind of activities are going to be going on? Are you going to do, are they, I guess, going to do Mentor Fest again? That was, you sponsored that through the ARRL, did you not? Or was that done by the guys out there in Dallas?
No, this was Mentor Fest was sponsored by the ARRL. We put this part on. It was completely pushed by the North Texas section. I forget when the very first one was done, but it was probably over close to 10 years ago. And section manager Roy Raby, AD5KZ, was doing that one. It was great. And the first one that I actually got to do was there at Irving. And it was kind of, the timing was just horrific with Joda and some other stuff going on around town. Everyone was pulled in 4 different directions. So then my other assistant section manager put it together out at the Hella Shrine out in Garland, which was a fantastic facility.
Okay.
Plenty of room. People with RVs could park in the back. They have RV parking spots. People with their emergency MCOM trailers showed up and demoed how they're and deployed all the stuff and antennas and cables and all this. It was absolutely fantastic. We had a lot of people show up. Great reviews. We surveyed everybody, all the attendees, and there was overwhelmingly positive. To answer the question before I wander too far ahead, are we going to do another one? Right now, no. We have not. Just due to me stepping down, I'm sure everyone's aware I've made no secret of the fact I got laid off end of October.
Right.
And so I'm busy trying to find a new position. And because I don't know where I'm going to be or the hours of the position or anything else, I'm loath to commit to the league in a leadership position and not be able to fulfill it. I don't want to be a lame duck section manager. I don't want to do that. If I can't give it my every last thing I've got, then I'll hand it off. It's not the driving force behind me. I've been in this hobby for 25 years. So, let someone else spread their wings and fly. It might inspire other people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Bill Caldwell, my other assistant section manager who did all the stuff for Mentor Fest. Actually, it's a good thing I'm making a note here. I need to reach out and touch base with him because I haven't talked in a month or so, and I think he's been really busy as well. And he was really the pushing hard force behind it. He set up everything at the Hella Shrine. I did a little legwork to try to recruit the mentors and get the advertising done, and I think we did a fantastic job of advertising last year with people. Actually, no, sorry, it was this year. The last Mentor Fest with getting the different clubs to actually publish something and put it in their newsletter, which they're usually begging and screaming for anything for their newsletters anyway.
Right.
So that was a tremendous win. But who's to say that not next year, but maybe 2020 with new section manager coming in, once he finds his feet, be able to get it all lined up and start doing the legwork and have many months to actually start confirming and recruiting mentors and drumming up interest, club visits and stuff like that. Say, hey, you got your new hams. They got their license, and they're kind of sitting there with a puzzled look on their face going, now what?
Yeah.
Well, you need to come to Mentor Fest and ask that question and figure out how to build a big antenna, figure out what coax is, figure out antenna installs, figure out what is SWR and why is it bad or good, figure all this stuff out. And so probably 2020 will be the next Mentor Fest.
Okay. What month was it this year? I know last year you did it in October. That was the one at the Irving.
October was a terrible time with Joe and everything. April the 28th. April the 28th. Okay. Yeah, that was, and that's another reason why I haven't pushed to get another one going and lined up, because April the 1st I'm gone.
Right.
And I mean, although I could come back in, whoever's the elected section manager could say, hey, I anoint thee an assistant and put a green badge on me, and I could keep on going. Again, just too many things, too many moving pieces in my life right now. So I want the next one to be even better than the one we had this year. I want to pack the room to the point that they have to open up the doors and do closed circuit TV.
Good. That's good. Yeah. I did my DMR presentation at the first one, but the one last year, I can't remember right now, but I had a conflict and I wasn't able to make it. But Joe, N3JI, he gave the DMR presentation. He said he had quite a good turnout at it. He spoke really highly of it. So just the
Joe.
overall fest. And I'm hoping to see it again. I think it was a really good show in Irving. There was good information presented in Irving that time. The turnout was not what you were wanting, I know, but everything I heard said that issue was resolved in 2018. So I certainly hope it can keep going later on.
Oh, absolutely. I think this should definitely be a yearly occurrence.
Yeah.
If we can secure the spot and everything else, and we're, as far as I know, we're in good graces with the shrine. I forget what the omnipotent or his high potency or something like that. I forget what Bill. There's some really mythical sounding title that the head honcho has.
Oh, okay. Grand Poobah.
So, that would be W9VE.
Okay.
You'd have to go back in history to the Yak Masters and Yak Master breakfasts off of Harry Hines at the Mecca restaurant. It goes back to before I had a driver's license.
Yeah. Okay. Oh well, okay, good. All right, well that's something I'll have to talk to the guys about. Maybe on the live stream we do next month for see if they've put any time and thought into that. Okay, good. Well, anything else off the top of your head that you'd like to talk about and discuss or anything like that? I know you don't want to endorse a candidate one way or the other. You said both of them were great guys, and I know Steve myself because he used to work at Main Trading Company. And Ken, I don't really know him, but I've traded emails with him. He seems like a really nice dude, and he seems very interested in getting started with the position. So that's good. So we'll see what we see with the live stream next month. But anything else you want to
No,
talk about?
I would say I want both of the candidates to campaign their hearts out, get as
Yeah.
much information out there, make their sales pitches, and put forth all their strengths. And I hope that all of your viewers in the North Texas section, when they get their ballot, that they vote.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say to your viewers, do me a favor. If you don't know who they are, pick up your phone and call them. Have
Yeah.
a little interview. I mean, I've done that in the past. I'm an ARRL Life member. And even before I decided to pick up the reins and run, if I wondered what somebody would do with something, we're ham radio operators. We're communicators. We're supposed
Right.
to be able master this science of being articulate and asking the questions and developing opinions and moving information from one side to the other.
Yeah.
And so pick up the phone, pull whatever you can out of them and make up your mind, cast your ballot. I'd love to see a record turnout this year in return ballots to the league and show Newington that North Texas is alive and kicking butt.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. That'd be great because we do have a lot of really active hams up here. I don't know how active they are with league business, but there's a lot of active ham radio operators in the North Texas area. I know that for sure. Well, cool, man. Yeah, that's probably about a good time right there. Don't want to make the video too long. They kind of get lost on YouTube. Sometimes you put up videos that are too long, but
I agree with you. I have, and you say something that several of my favorite YouTube channel producers have said. So you keep it to the 10-minute attention span, and
yeah,
normally they'll get to the very end.
right, correct. Okay, cool, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out. Yeah, sorry it took so long to finally connect. I know we've been talking about this for a couple months, but maybe sometime late January, early February. You want to get back online? We'll do another one of these.
Well,
and
we've walked through. We got the technical problems worked out, and record time, I might add. It really kind of awesome because I'm running Linux full-time, 100% Linux, and I know that even though it's becoming more and more accepted, sometimes can be a problem.
Yeah.
And but now that we got an established and a very workable solution for doing these, I would love to be on your show.
Cool, man.
I've got, as probably many of your viewers who know me personally, I have lots of opinions on everything.
Yeah, you're not known for being quiet and sitting in the back of the row. So.
Yeah, you do have a button over there that you can bleep me out. Do you have one of those red buttons or something?
Yeah, I could put a beep in there. I could put a Tasmanian devil face over you if I wanted to. So we'll see. But cool, man. Well, Jay, I appreciate it, man. We'll see what next month brings with the two guys and their interview, and then the ballots that are sent out January 3rd. I think it was January 3rd, and what happens by the end of the month, where those votes get cast, and see what everybody has to say about that. So it's kind of exciting times. It's just good to see people participate in club business or a league business like that. So. Good deal.
Well, it's one of the things you get with your $49 a year membership fee to the league. If you're a yearly member, or maybe pay a little bit less if you do multiple years at a time, is you have a voice. Right. That is your voice. And I'm Jay Urish, W5GM, and I approve of this message.
There you go. All right, man. I appreciate it. I'll give you your night back. Thanks for taking out some time, and I'm sure we'll be in contact sometime after the first of the year, and we'll talk about doing another one of these. And tune into the live stream if you can. I'd like to see maybe you might be able to provide some really insightful questions in the live stream, in the chat that goes on during that time.
I'd be honored and privileged to do that, and I think both parties would also say the same.
Yeah, good deal. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you for having me on.
All right. Have fun. See you later.
All right.